What is going on, you guys? My name is Jess, and welcome to Original Budgets by Jess, where we simply budget happy. And in today's video, we will be mocking up for, we will be doing a monthly budget for March of 2023. So let's get started. My apologies, you guys, for that intro. I guess I just blanked out on what we're doing today, but we are doing a mock-up for the month of March for 2023. So before I do anything, this is my brain dump. So basically, this is where I brainstorm anything and everything that will be happening in March, things I need to shop for, appointments that I may have, birthdays and holidays, and also events. So I like to write that all down here, and I already did that. Moving on to my monthly calendar. So here I write out all of what was on the brainstorm sheet. So I was able to put where all of my bills will be coming out. I also put my paydays. Spring break is actually coming up. I have family that will be coming in the 11th and staying for a whole week. I have honor roll assembly that I'm in charge of, so need to get that taken care of. And you guys, my 25th birthday will be March 26th. Yes, I will be turning 25. I cannot believe I'm turning 25. It doesn't feel real. I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday yet. I have been very indecisive when it comes to what I want to do. My mom, she wants to go to Vegas, and that's what she wants to do. Moving on to our everything I need to know sheet. So let me set you guys up so you can kind of see it a little bit better. So this is my everything I need to know sheet where I list out everything I need to know. So here in the blue are where the bills go, living expenses, debt, and sinking funds. I left this blank because I really don't have any debt. The only debt I have is a car loan under $7,000. This is where I put the sinking funds. I don't know why I didn't fill this out because I do have saving goals that I want to meet this year. I want to go into detail a little bit about my living expenses categories this time, so I'll hold off on this. And then here are my bills. All right here are bills that I already had, so I won't go into detail on those. But a couple of new additions to the bill category are eyebrows. So eyebrows used to be in essentials, but I decided to move it to a bill because I know that happens at least once a month, if not twice a month, depending on how I set up my appointments. Now let's get into the living expenses. Groceries remains the same. Gas remains the same. Essentials remains the same. Home remains the same. Fun remains the same. Jess and Dennis, parentheses fun, remains the same. So you're probably thinking, well, Jessica, I don't know your budget like you know your budget, so what's missing? Let me tell you. I am missing eating out and miscellaneous. We decided we are taking out the eating out category completely. Cut it out cold turkey for the rest of our lease. Looking at our budget, that was the main expense that we were spending like over $200 on a month. And that $200 could have gone to saving for our first month's rent in our new apartment. So that is what we decided on that. The next thing, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous has become a category that I dip in to eat out. Therefore, I was spending outside my eating category. So we took that out, and now we only have these categories, which I'm really happy about. and so far we've been doing good. Yesterday was one of our weekdays and we almost caved in to going to Chipotle, but we did not. We stayed at home. Next thing I want to be real with you guys on are how I will be banking now. So let me set that up and get my banking sheet so you guys know what I'm talking about. So if you guys didn't check out my February closeout budget, I kind of previewed into what I'm about to talk about. So for the month of February, I messed up on my bills category by not moving over my rent money to my checking account. Therefore, a whole mess occurred. The first mess that occurred was I had to pay a $35 overdraft fee because the money wasn't in my checking account. Second, they did a cash advance from my credit card to pay for my rent. Even though I had the money in there, just because it was not in my checking account, I have an overdraft fee and a cash advance fee. So I said, enough is enough. I need to get reorganized. I was already organized, but I knew I could have done better to prevent that stupid thing from happening, basically. So I am a credit card spender. I don't spend anything in cash. I did do cash stuffing for living expenses a long time ago. That's actually how I started in budgeting. But now I just use credit cards and debit cards. But we are changing that process. The reason why we're changing that process is, one, I have been overspending, not as a whole for the budget, but I've been spending over per category. I've still had the money to cover everything, but I've been spending over budgeting categories. There's a difference between there. The next thing, the bills and the living expenses have been getting mixed in too much, where if I'm not really on it, I don't know if things have cleared out of my account and what money I can spend. The next thing, I was spending over the living expense amount because I was using a credit card, which my credit card has a higher credit limit than what I'm budgeting for. Therefore, I was just spending to spend. So I have organized myself a lot better. So for me, I have 4 separate personal bank accounts. Number 4, I haven't put that on there because that's for my business, so I left that blank. So these are my personal accounts. So account 1 will be now strictly for income and bills. So that's where my income for my job will go to. And then subcategories within there, I'm allowed to have multiple savings accounts within the account. So these are the categories. So for account 1, I have bills, Mad Money, rent, and then my Visa credit card. So Mad Money is basically my emergency fund. I don't like to call it an emergency fund because I feel like you're wanting something bad to happen, but the reason why I call it Mad Money is because there's this movie called Mad Money. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's a super good movie. Rent, in parentheses, backup, I have been able to save up money where I have 2 months worth of rent backed up just in case something's going on. I know I can cover my rent. Then in this account, my Visa credit card is attached to this account, and then my checking account, I just label it as bills, so I keep all my bill money in my checking account so I don't have what happened to my rent happen again. Next, the account 2 is for my savings and sinking funds. So I already had this kind of organized, but I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. So for my checking account, for account 2, I have investments in buffer. So my $75 investment fee comes out of this account, and then I put a little buffer of money in there just in case, so I don't get overdraft fees. Then I have moving on up, sinking funds, Disney and travel, new Apple Tech, original ink, car stuff, Mad Money, savings, and a Visa credit card. So all of these categories coincide with my cash stuffing category. So once I hit a certain amount, I'm going to deposit into these accounts so I don't have a whole bunch of cash just sitting in my house waiting to be going missing, or somebody wants to have some sticky fingers and take it. So that's what that's for, and that's already been organized. I just cleaned it up a little bit. And then this is what's really new. So account number 3, I've already had this account for, I want to say, 2 months, because what I did is I moved money that I have, like I think I have about 2, almost 3 months worth of living expenses saved already, and I had it in this account just sitting there, but I decided to move it back to account number 2 so I could use account number 3 for strictly spending. So for in this account, I have checking, in parentheses buffer, groceries, gas, essentials, fun, Jessica fun, and then dentist fun. So these are all my living expense categories. So now what I'm doing is strictly spending from this account. You guys, this is basically cash envelope stuffing, but all digitalized. So my bank, we're allowed to have multiple savings accounts. So basically I just asked them to add the amount of savings accounts that I needed, and then I entitled them per the category. And then what I do is I take from account 1 and deposit into account 3 the amount of money I need for my living expenses, and then I divvy it up per account, so then I know exactly how much I have. And then I use a debit card for spending. I think this is going to work because I won't be using my credit cards anymore, and I won't be able to overspend, because just like with cash, once it's gone, it's gone. So I literally only have the amount of money that I budget out for in this account. So I can't go over, or I will have overdraft fees. And I'm excited to see how this is going to work, and we'll get more into it when we do our March recap towards the end of the month. The last thing that I want to get into for our March mock-up setup are goals. So I'm going to start doing small goals for each month to kind of help me with what I want to achieve. So goal number 1 is no eating out on normal days. Number 2, staying in budget per budget category. Number 3 goal for March: don't just spend to spend. I really want to focus on just spending when I need it, not just because I have this amount of money so I need to spend it. No, you could save that for later. You can add it on to a later date. You don't need to spend it. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. All right, you guys, that concludes our March mock-up session. But before I go, I have a question for you. My question to you: how do you feel your year is going so far? Whether you want to talk about budgeting, whether you want to talk about something personal, whether you want to talk about your work, whatever you want to talk about, my question to you is: how do you feel the year is going for you so far? Let me know in the comments down below so we can get a conversation going. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Your time means a lot to me. And always remember, be you, stay true, be original ink. I'll see you guys in the next video.